Okay, day 3, chest and back day for the month of June. We have a couple new moves. The timing and the cadence, the 30 on, 15 off times 3, follows suit for this workout as well. We are going to start with our back. So one of the new moves is a neutral grip pull down. So they might want to grab a black mat. I have on the paper that they can stand or tall kneel. Depends on their height. Most clients will be kneeling. I like tall kneeling better than half kneeling. It just feels better. However, make sure that their spine is not extended. So they're going to grip. Neutral grip, get into tall kneeling stance. Arms straight, shoulders down and back. Pull down. Your thumbs go about to your armpits, so those elbows go a little bit further back. Squeeze into those shoulder blades. We want to make sure that they are pulling all the way down. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. Then they're going to move into a TRX reverse fly. So the TRX strap needs to be at about hip height for this. These are not, however, I will still show you what it looks like. So we're back on our toes. The further you're in, much harder it's going to be. The client probably isn't going to be able to be in very far. They're going to keep their arms straight, open up. I end up standing all the way up so I can get a good squeeze. Control down, nice and slow. Big exhale up as they open, control down, nice and slow. It's going to be really easy for your client to lift their hips first. So try and coach that, watch for that, encourage them to walk their feet out closer to them. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. And then exercise number 3 is a half kneeling banded face pull. So they're going to use a band that's connected to the upper S-drive loop. They're going to get in half kneeling stance, elbows in line with shoulders, and they're going to pull those band handles to their ears or their temples as their elbows go wide and they squeeze those shoulder blades nice and tight. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. So we have the neutral grip pull down, the TRX reverse fly, and the half kneeling banded pull. From there, we're going to move on to our chest. So we have a couple new ones here. Not necessarily a new movement pattern, but we do have a new stance. So I really like this. The red levers are going to be a couple notches above our shoulder. And the black handles are going to be on each cable. Again, this is going to be 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. The first one is a chest press. I found that I can press a little bit more, maybe a whole plate more with this stance. So we're used to bilateral pressing, split stance pressing. For the press, we're gonna go wide bilateral. You're gonna end up leaning a little bit forward, knuckles up, elbows in line with your shoulders, exhale, press straight out. You wanna make sure that their hands are in line with their chest and they're not pressing too low, all right? Exhale, tight core for a flat back, 30 seconds, elbows stop at shoulders. 30 on, 15 off times 3. Then they're gonna lower their weight to fly. So for our fly, we're also gonna be bilateral instead of split, but our feet are much more narrow. So either touching or slightly farther apart, but no wider than our hips. Arms straight, exhale, squeeze, and pull straight in front of that chest. Make sure they're not pulling down too far. We want to keep them their hands in line with their chest as they squeeze nice and tight. So pretty much this is what my stance looks like. Soft knee bend, flat back, slight hinge at the core, or slight hinge at the waist. 3 times there, 30 on, 15 off. And then the last one is that TRX chest press that we've become familiar with. Our clients should be getting pretty good at this by now. Again, the straps are going to be hip height, essentially a push-up up on your toes. These are too high. The lower that the straps are, the harder it's going to be. So if you have a client that's kind of mastered this, lower the straps down to like their quad length or their quad height. Press down, elbows wide, exhale, and press up. Really good stability, uses a lot of core. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. So for that one, they have a wide bilateral stance press, narrow bilateral stance fly, and then a TRX chest press. Then we are going to go into lower body. So for this one, I'm not going to rearrange the rig the whole way. going to put the Smith bar down. So we have 4 exercises, 2 times through as a circuit. Exercise 1 is your Smith bar deadlift. As you know, your shins are relatively close to the bar. Hinge at your waist, nice flat back. Hands no wider than their shoulders. Snap your hips, not extending that spine. Shoulders down and arms stay straight. 30 seconds there. Then we have a lower body elevated. So we do have the bench. We're gonna put 1 foot up on the bench, hip thrust for 30 seconds, switch, 1 foot on the bench, or the other foot on the bench, 30 seconds, thrust your hips to the air, and then done that exercise. And exercise number 3 is a TRX 1-leg squat. So we've done this a while ago. TRX straps, a little bit of slack. When they sink, we really want to encourage them to go as low as they can. Non-working leg kick straight out. Use those handles to help them lift, all right? Drive through the heel, nice tall back, 30 seconds each leg. So I misspoke, there are 3 exercises you're gonna do as a circuit 2 times. Your Smith bar deadlift, your lower body elevated or foot on the bench, 1 leg hip thrust, 30 seconds each side, and then you have 30 seconds each leg for your TRX 1-leg squat. 2 times through, and then after that, they have 1 squat hold for 45 seconds. So that's kind of a little finisher. 3 exercises, 2 times through as a circuit, and then after the second time through the circuit, they're gonna do 1 squat hold for 45 seconds. And that finishes out the lower body. We are going to go back to our back. 3 exercises, 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off again, 3 times in a row. Exercise 1, because the Smith bar is already down, we haven't put it up yet, we're gonna do a bent over row. So we are going to hinge so that our chest is directly over the bar. Our arms are semi-wide. As we pull that bar to our chest, our elbows go wide. Exercise 1 is a wide row because exercise number 2 is gonna be a neutral grip narrow row, all right? So for the bent over row, butt back, soft knee bend, flat back, hands are pretty wide enough for their elbows to go out, and their wrists should end right beneath their elbows. I've noticed some people keep their hands in and then their elbows or their wrists are kind of weird. So when they row, we want their elbows to be directly over their wrists. Drive those elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. Then they're going to sit down. Remember that Smith bar stays down for the whole circuit. They're gonna have both handles on the left cable, so both black handles. They're gonna grip neutral grip, thumbs up, pull back, keep those elbows nice and close, pull the handles apart across their chest, get a good squeeze in those shoulder blades. They can bend their knees, they can put them straight. We just wanna make sure those shoulders stay over the hips and they're not using their body to row. You're familiar with the seated row. We've been doing it for a long time. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. And then the last one is Superman pulses. So this is where we lie on the floor. Fingertips or thumbs face the ceiling. Lift chest, lift quads off the floor, and pulse using your glutes and your back. 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. So that's the 3 exercises for the back finisher. Then we're gonna go to a chest finisher. We do need the bench. Wheels are at the red levers. The first exercise is a push-up. So when that back circuit's done, you're gonna put the red bar up. You're gonna put a black handle on each cable for chest. So this first exercise is a push-up. We've kind of changed it a little bit. We don't want anybody doing a push-up on their knees this time, okay? So if somebody regularly does push-ups on their knees, they're going to incline their hands and do a push-up on the bench, all right? Let's practice them getting a good range of motion. This is a wide push-up so their elbows go out. If that's too easy and they do push-ups on the floor normally, then they're gonna do push-ups on the floor. If you have clients who are more advanced, this is where they can elevate their toes on the bench and do their push-ups with their hands on the floor and their feet on the bench. So those are the three options: an upper body incline, a normal push-up on the floor, or a lower body incline where their hands are on the floor, okay? Again, no knees push-ups for this month for chest and back. First exercise, 3 times 30 on, 15 off. Exercise number 2 is a chest press. We're gonna lie down on a flat bench. We have done this one before as well. We're gonna do an iso, alternating. Turn that core on, keep those shoulder blades nice and tight against the bench. Exhale as they press up. And the last exercise is an iso alternating fly. So both hands start upwards, and then they're going to alternate the hand that flies, pulling their palms together as they squeeze their chest. For the press and the fly, their feet can be on the floor or on the bench, whatever works best for them. So 3 exercises there, some sort of push-up, 3 times 30 on, 15 off, followed by the iso alternating chest press, and finish with the iso alternating chest fly. That brings us to core. So for core, the black handle is going to be on the left side at the bottom, and the rope is going to be on the right side all the way at the top. I'm going to move the bench out of the way. The first one is a weighted shootout. So they are going to add whatever weight they need to. They're going to come away from the rig. Arms extended, legs extended. Exhale as they pull their knees to their hands. Every time, they can lift their shoulders off if they want a little more advanced version, or they can keep their shoulders and their head flat on the floor for the entire move. And then the second exercise is a rope pull down, okay? If your client is not comfortable with this, they can do a hollow hold on their back. However, this is a really good move. Encourage your clients to go pretty heavy. They need enough to hold their body weight, all right? So we're gonna start on our knees, grab the rope. You want your knees under your hips or your hips over your knees. You don't want your hips back over your butt or your back over your heels. So enough weight, the rope goes around your neck, my hips are over my knees, hinging, taking my face to the floor. Exhale up, keep a nice flat back. Exhale down, slow and controlled up. All right, we don't want the client going from here to here. If their butt is over their feet, it's most often they just don't have enough weight and they're not comfortable, because if you don't have enough weight, it'll be way too easy and you'll feel like you're falling forward, so you need to add a little bit more weight. And then exercise 3 is back to that elbow plank. 2 rounds, 45 seconds for the weighted shootout, 45 seconds for the rope pull down, and 45 seconds for the elbow plank 2 times. And that's chest and back.